Good morning, everyone. It's Yvonne here to do your What's Cracking reading. For those of you interested in coming into Unanderra in the Wollongong area for a reading with me on the 30th or 31st of July, Danielle has actually posted the early bookings. So if you want to go to my Facebook page, it will be there for you. I'm sorry that I don't get to go to other countries. Everybody always writes to me and says, I wish you were here. And I'm like, yeah, I'd love to. It was always my dream to sort of get a Winnebago and just travel around the States, for example. So who knows, maybe I'll get round to it one day. Those are the sort of comments I love getting from you. For some of you, as I said, you've been around for so long, I feel sometimes when you're talking to me, I know you personally. All right, let's get on with things. We're going to use the Rider-Waite Tarot for your reading today. And we're starting off with the Judgment card. Now, in my years of doing tarot, and there have been many of them, let me say, I always feel when a particular card comes around and brings an energy with it, sometimes it will keep coming. And I feel like sometimes that is sort of signifying that maybe it's not quite ready yet, but you're being prepared. The Judgment is a card that talks about being raised from the dead. This doesn't mean you've died and we're bringing you back to life. It means some component of you has been sleeping inside and it is about to be raised for judgment. Now, this can be in regards to another person, it can be in regards to something within yourself. But whatever this is, it's like the universe is saying to you, something is coming around again. Only this time you have worked through all your lessons and you are now ready. So that's my work phone going silly. You are ready to work through whatever it was that you didn't acknowledge, get right, understand. And that's a big one for me. Sometimes we can do the healing at the level we've been shown. So we know that something is shown to us and we do and we work with it at that particular level. And then when we've sort of accomplished what we wanted to set out for, it's like the universe takes us to the next level or shows us where we need to go next. And I feel like sometimes when the Judgment card comes around, it's sort of saying to you that something needs to be addressed because either you didn't acknowledge it the first time around, it didn't go well the first time around because maybe you had things to heal or components of yourself that you had not addressed. So I feel like whatever this is, if it's a relationship, and we'll certainly see, if it's a relationship, it means that whatever you did the first time around didn't work. It could be that you only saw it as the other person's issue, not anything within yourself. And I guess what we get to understand as we mature is that there is stuff within us that we too need to address. But when we're younger, and for some people, they never see that at all. You know, those people that you deal with and you think, do you not get it? Are you not seeing this? No, they probably are never going to unless they want to see that for themselves. So when the Judgment card comes around, something has to be redone. Something that didn't go right the first time around. Oh, wow. Okay, now this card jumped out at me when I was shuffling. The Wheel of Fortune is a card that really, for me, says it's time for things to start going in your favour. What did you do the last time around that you know you needed to do differently this time around? Let's face it, how are we going to learn unless we have lessons about things? So if, you know, for example, the first time around you didn't acknowledge or realize that you had done something, then this time around you're going to see it much more clearly because the universe wants it to go in your favor. We have the Ace of Cups here. So first off, I want to say to you, there is a really strong feeling here that you've got to learn to love yourself better. Maybe you're doing what lots of people do and say, I don't know how to do that, or I've tried and I don't know how to love myself. Or I've had people say to me, oh, I always go and have massages. Like, this isn't deep healing. This is deep healing. Sometimes it means that you have to really get down to the very core of things. I think self-love was best explained to me. I can't remember who talked about it, but I do watch a lot of stuff and sort of take a lot of stuff in. Somebody once said, how much do you love your children? I guess it could be your parents or somebody else around you. How much do you love them? And if you can imagine how much love you have for somebody else, then really and truly that amount of love should be where your love is for yourself. If it's not, you've got probably, you could have an issue around codependency if you love somebody else more than you love yourself, or you could not understand how to love yourself. So it should be equal. You should be able to love yourself exactly the same as you love somebody else. We're not taught that when we're young. We're not taught that. In fact, we are taught that we have to love everybody else more than we are loved. So just take that on board, because I feel like this is coming. Yeah, you've got the card of self-sabotage after that. What are you sabotaging? What are you putting aside here or putting away rather than addressing something within yourself? Because there's a pattern going on. That's why you've come back around again, because there's some sort of pattern here where you are deceiving yourself over something. What are you doing that is making you feel? It's funny because the big thing that came across for me yesterday was the amount of shame we have. And shame is something that, it's not like guilt. I don't know why people sort of confuse the two, and it's not. And if you have toxic shame, it can be so embedded within you that you do not see it in yourself. So toxic shame is made from when we're children. If we're made to feel ashamed about something we've done, but because of our level of self-esteem, we may consider that's a flaw within us that we can't fix. We can fix anything. So I'm feeling like you need to be reminded here about some sort of sabotage. You're sabotaging yourself. How do we sabotage ourselves? We tell ourselves we're not worthy, for example. So we give things away or we let things go because we think we're not as good as other people, or that there's something flawed within us that can't be addressed. And you need to see this from a different perspective here. All right, there's an offer coming in. You've manifested some sort of offer here. It could be any sort of offer. It could be an offer of a job that you didn't think you'd get because somehow or another you felt this thing within you that said to you you weren't good enough. Why do we overthink? Why do we worry about things? It all comes back to the same core value, that we believe inherently that there is something flawed within us and therefore we're not entitled or we're not given something. Now you can take the victim mentality and just go, well, okay, that's how it is and I'll learn to live with that. Or you can start to understand why you have that way of thinking. Very often you've had a parent who may have been dominant, who perhaps manipulated you into believing you weren't good enough because that way they can keep you small and then you just help them to grow. You provide them with what they want. Somehow or another there's a sense of satisfaction out of some people about you feeling small. So whatever it is here, you're being asked to address it. It's coming around again to be addressed. And I feel like even for me today, that seems to be where other people are at the moment. I've had a lot of people sort of talking to me that do need to address those things, but somehow they don't see them very well for themselves. It's there. It's something that we need to address. We're growing as a human race. We're certainly not where we need to be at this moment in time. But if you find that other people make you feel uncomfortable about things for whatever reason, there is some sort of toxic shame that needs to be addressed within you. And as I say, it's not just something that can be identified, because sometimes when you sort of go following up these things, it's like once you identify the problem, you can fix it. Sometimes it is so inherent and so deeply ingrained within us that we may not even know why it's there. But anyway, that phone's going to drive me bananas. I have to see why. Okay, so there's a brand new beginning coming through here. And I feel like with the Ace of Cups there as well, there may be a brand new beginning around the way you see yourself in the world. Now, sometimes we are perceiving ourselves the way other people taught us to perceive ourselves. So that's what needs to be cleared. That's why you're getting that sort of Seven of Swords energy, because you're using it as some sort of excuse to get away with something. So it may be, for example, you know, when you don't succeed at something, then you, instead of saying, well, why didn't I succeed? It's like you are just saying, well, it's never worked well for me before, so I guess it was going to happen again. I have people say to me, that always happens to me. Already the language there tells you that people have this idea that things always happen. And if you're not seeing it, it will keep repeating the pattern to you. So we all get those patterns where one day we go, okay, I need to see this differently. And I feel like with this Ace of Wands, for some of you here, this may be seeing things very differently to what you were before. Three of Wands coming through with the King of Cups. We've seen quite a lot of this lately. And maybe this King of Cups is what is helping you to see within you what you need to heal. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio energy. So I could be talking to people who are water signs. I'm feeling here it's more about the emotional side of you, or how you see things in your world. And I always talk about being able to look without your emotions present, being able to be more logical. So maybe taking on the King of Swords energy rather than the King of Cups energy. Because for me, this feels like somehow or another, there is a new cycle beginning for you here, and you're closing out an old one. This could be around your self-esteem, your confidence, your ability to believe in yourself. But for some unknown reason, it's like the emotions of things get on top of you, and you sort of dwell in the emotions or the depth of the emotions rather than what's happening. Now, there is a thing called like vicarious trauma or cumulative harm, where each time something happens and we go through the cycle with it, we may ignore things or not take any notice of things, but eventually that bubble will burst and it will show you something here. And I feel like this is what's coming through very strongly here. It's an energy of how can I move forward and leave this negative cycle, this negative way of thinking behind me. Let's just keep going. Three of Pentacles, Three of Swords, wow, and the Eight of Cups. Whatever this is I'm speaking to you about, it is creating a lot of pain within you. Your emotions have become more and more prevalent here. And because of that, the pain of the past keeps you feel it. You feel it all the time. Whether this is through a relationship with somebody here, or whether you are being shown this yourself, you are moving away from it. You are closing the cycle down. So I feel like this is a time where you are very aware of your spiritual self talking to you. You may have very clear spirit guides at the moment who are trying to guide you into this period of healing. But it's, for me, the Three of Swords talks about the pain that it's creating within you because you are allowing it to progress. So if you're always allowing yourself to believe you're not good enough, then it's going to create, every time you do it, it's going to bring back all the emotion for you, and you're going to keep reliving it here. So you can't cure what is happening to you, but you can cure the reasons for why you feel this way. You can certainly alleviate those pains around loving yourself and feeling good enough by understanding why it is that you are this way. And because the Three of Pentacles is here, it strongly suggests to me that this is part of your soul journey and now a time to be addressed. All right, so we have the Knight of Wands with the Knight of Pentacles coming through here. I love this energy because I feel like here it's going to be a little bit of a slow process, but it's going to really help you to find your passions. You know, some people, when they are hurting internally, use that to create. So you would get like famous artists who created beautiful beautiful paintings, or you get people who write songs. Sometimes in order to find something within ourselves, we have to find that creative output. This is why people are asked to journal. This is why we are sort of given this idea that by being creative we can birth something new, because sometimes that emotional pain within us that creates this energy can be brought forth by just being creative. And it's happening here. And look at this, a third ace in your reading here. It's brand new beginning coming through here. You may be in a mentality of holding yourself back from what you really deserve. You could be having yourself in a lack mentality. So, you know, if I don't believe in myself and I don't believe I'm worthy, then I'm not going to bring the things to me, because I'm only going to vibrate at that level. So if I'm vibrating at the level of not believing in myself, guess what? I don't even have to say it. So you need to raise your vibration here, because you're here for greater purpose. But if you're going to sort of fall back into those energies that have kept you trapped for so long that say you're not worthy, then you are never going to think you're worthy of having anything more than you do. So here we have the Judgment card, which says to me the universe is bringing something around again. Whatever this is that you're healing here, you need to approach it with love. Now, if it is a relationship with somebody, then this time around you're going to have an opportunity to see things differently, whatever this is. Because somehow or another you're sabotaging yourself. And you can see this guy with these 7 of Swords looking back at this hanged man. It's time to look at things differently. We cannot look at them the same way anymore. We have to see ourselves as the pure and beautiful beings that we were born to be. And here we have some sort of offer coming through that you've manifested. So I feel like somebody may be coming in for some of you. It may be a relationship here. It could be somebody returning. But whatever this is, it's coming at you quite rapidly here. So if you approach it in the same way you've always done, like feeling you're not worthy or feeling you're not good enough, or it may never work out because previous relationships haven't, whatever it is that you're saying to yourself, whatever conditioning you have, you're going to just bring that into fruition. You're going to manifest it again. So maybe get back, you've got somebody coming in, maybe get back to the drawing board and do that creative process. And if you can say that you love yourself as much as you love somebody else, then you are there. All right, and it looks like a brand new beginning. For some of you, this could be to do with work. It could be to do with a relationship. It could be to do with those inherent patterns within you that need addressing. All right, we're going to do a Wisdom of the Oracle card here, which I find it quite interesting because the card of mending is on the bottom there. All right, let's have a look. All right, a leg up. All right. Card 34. Receiving help, delegating authority, and interdependence. You've come to a point where going it alone is no longer optimal for you. Life has a way of presenting you with the perfect people to align with who can give you a leg up during this next phase of your journey. Help comes to you in all areas of your life where you need a boost. The trick is to accept that aid so freely given. When you embrace interdependence, allowing teamwork and independence to commingle, miracles happen. Now is such a time. So I feel like here, this may mean this person here that's coming up in the reading may be really crucial to you understanding your own patterns, may be crucial to you having the relationship that you always wanted. Whatever it is for you, it looks like things are coming to fruition here for you. Somebody is going to give you some sort of insight here to help you move forward. All right, I will leave you with that. Thank you.